Have you ever smiled in front of everyone, while inside you felt completely exhausted? Have you ever automatically replied, "Everything is fine," even when your mind was tired, your heart heavy, and your soul silently begging for rest? Perhaps you become so accustomed to hiding your pain that the people around you can no longer perceive what's really happening inside you. And perhaps you can't even remember the last time you felt true peace. There are battles that happen in silence, battles that no one sees. You wake up, keep going, fulfill your responsibilities, talk to people, try to stay strong, but deep down, something feels broken. And the hardest part is that sometimes you can't even explain exactly what you're feeling. It's not just physical tiredness. It's something deeper, heavier. It's emotional exhaustion, spiritual exhaustion. It's the kind of exhaustion that sleep can't cure. And perhaps that's exactly why you clicked on this video. Because there's a part of you searching for something. Maybe comfort, maybe hope, maybe answers. Or maybe you're simply tired of carrying everything alone. You've spent so much time being strong for everyone else that your own soul has begun to wear down silently. And what you're about to discover may surprise you, because the Bible speaks much more about emotional pain, anxiety, sadness, and soul exhaustion than most people realize. Many people believe that having faith means pretending everything is okay, smiling while falling apart inside, appearing strong when, in reality, you feel weak. But when we look at God's Word, we find something completely different. We find tired people, afraid people, emotionally shaken people, people who cried silently. Even some of the strongest men and women in the Bible face moments when their souls seem unable to bear it any longer. So, if lately you've been feeling emotionally exhausted, spiritually empty, mentally overwhelmed, perhaps this message is exactly what your heart needed to hear today. And perhaps no one around you has noticed the silent battle you are facing. Maybe people see your smile, but not your pain. They see your strength, but not the weight you carry every day. They see the version of you that keeps functioning, but they don't know the nights when your mind can't rest. They don't know the tears you hold back, so no one notices. They don't know the effort you make just to keep standing, but God knows. God sees every tear that no one else has seen. He knows the weariness you hide behind your smile. He knows the thoughts you've never told anyone. He knows the silent anxiety that tries to steal your peace. And even if you feel distant, lost, or spiritually weary right now, God has not forgotten you. You've had moments when you want to give up, haven't you? Moments when you kept smiling on the outside while crumbling on the inside. And maybe you started asking questions you never imagined asking. Why do I feel this way? Why is my soul so tired? Why do I feel so empty even when I try to keep going? If you've ever felt this kind of emotional pain, stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear in this message could completely change the way you see your suffering. Sometimes the soul tires before the body, and in a world that tells you to keep going, to produce, to pretend, to smile, and to endure everything alone, almost no one stops to ask how your heart is doing. But God does ask. And perhaps this tiredness you've been feeling isn't weakness. Perhaps it's not failure. Perhaps it's your soul trying to remind you of something important. You were never created to carry everything alone, because there's a reason your heart is so burdened. There's a reason your soul is so weary. And as we continue this message, you will begin to understand what God may be trying to show you through this silent battle. And you know what's perhaps most painful in all of this? It's that many people go through this kind of battle completely alone, believing that no one else understands what they feel. They keep smiling, keep trying to appear strong, while inside their soul is silently screaming for help. Perhaps you even thought you were the only one feeling this way. But the truth is that there are thousands of people experiencing this exact same emotional pain right now. People who are mentally exhausted, people trying to fight difficult thoughts, people who pray softly before bed, asking only for a little peace in their hearts. And that's why I want to ask you something very important right now. If this topic resonates with you, leave a comment below what has touched your heart the most so far. It can be just a word. It can be a feeling. It can be something you've never been able to tell anyone. Because often, when someone reads your comment, they realize they're not alone in this silent battle. And I truly believe that God can even use the comments on this video to reach people who are emotionally exhausted and in need of hope. Then write it down below. My soul is weary. Or simply, I needed to hear that. Your participation here makes more of a difference than you realize. If this message has touched you in any way, please like this video. This helps this message reach more people who are suffering in silence right now. People who may be smiling on the outside, but emotionally destroyed on the inside. Today, the world is full of empty content. But when you like, comment, and participate, you help this channel continue to bring messages of hope, faith, and emotional healing to people who truly need it. And if you feel that this type of content speaks directly to your soul, subscribe to the channel now. Because from now on, you'll find profound messages, biblical reflections, and words that can strengthen you on days when your mind is weary and your heart is burdened. Perhaps you arrived here by chance, but perhaps God allowed this message to reach you today for a reason. Because there is still something you need to understand about this weariness that has been silently consuming your soul. And what the Bible reveals about it can completely change the way you see the pain you've been carrying inside. Now I want to delve even deeper into this subject, because there's a hidden truth about emotional exhaustion that almost no one realizes. Many people believe they are only physically tired, when in reality they are spiritually exhausted. The body continues to function. The routine continues. Commitments continue to demand energy, but the soul can no longer keep up at the same pace. And perhaps this explains why there are people who sleep all night and still wake up tired. It's not just a lack of physical rest. It's an excess of emotional weight accumulated over a long period. There are people who have learned to survive on autopilot. People who get out of bed without motivation, but keep going because they feel they have no choice. They smile out of obligation. They talk normally. They work. They post happy photos. They try to maintain the appearance that everything is under control. But inside them, a silent battle is happening every day. And the scariest thing is that nobody notices. Some pains don't make a sound. Some people cry in places where no one sees. In the bathroom while the shower is running. In the car on the way home. In the silence of the early morning while everyone else sleeps. There are tears that never appear publicly. There's a type of sadness that a person learns to hide so well that even they themselves begin to pretend that everything is all right. And perhaps you have become exactly like that. Perhaps you learned to hide your pain because you didn't want to worry anyone. Perhaps you got used to hearing phrases like, "You are strong, it will pass, you can do it," while inside you just wanted to stop for a few minutes and breathe. Because there comes a point when the mind gets tired of fighting all the time. The soul gets tired of carrying pressures, expectations, fears, and worries alone. And you know what happens to a lot of people? They start to believe that feeling this way is a sign of weakness. But it isn't. The truth is that even strong people break down emotionally. Even people of faith face anxiety, inner silence, and moments of exhaustion. The Bible shows this many times. But almost no one talks about this human side of emotions. Elijah, for example, after experiencing one of the greatest spiritual moments of his life, sat alone and wished to give up everything. David wept silently. Job questioned his own pain. Even Jesus, at times, demonstrated profound emotional anguish. This completely changes the way we view our own journey. Because maybe the problem isn't that you're tired. Maybe the problem is the time you spent pretending you weren't. There's a huge difference between being strong and living in survival mode. And a lot of people are surviving emotionally without realizing it. Your heart keeps racing. Your mind never rests. Your thoughts never quiet down. You try to solve everything alone because you believe you need to handle everything. And little by little, without realizing it, you end up carrying burdens that God never asked you to carry alone. You were never meant to carry everything alone. This phrase may seem simple, but it has a profound impact. Because there are people trying to sustain old pains, silent traumas, hidden fears, emotional responsibilities, and constant pressure to appear okay all the time. This slowly destroys anyone's soul. And perhaps one of the most difficult parts of this journey is the silence of God. Because when pain persists, many people begin to think that God has withdrawn. Prayers seem unanswered. The heart feels empty. God's presence seems distant. And at that moment, dangerous thoughts begin to arise in the mind. Has God forgotten me? Does he really care about me? Why do I keep feeling this way? But there is something important you need to understand. God's silence does not mean abandonment. God continues to work, even behind the scenes in ways you can't see. There are transformations happening within you that may not yet make sense. There are emotional decisions, internal processes, and profound changes happening silently. And often, it is precisely during the quietest times that God is working on areas of the soul that no one else can see. Because not all healing happens quickly. Some take time. Some require a break. Some begin when a person finally admits they are tired. And perhaps that's exactly what your soul is asking for right now. Rest. Not a superficial rest. Not just a vacation or temporary distractions. But true rest. A place of inner peace. A time when you don't need to pretend to be strong all the time. Because your soul cannot heal while constantly living in a state of survival. Your soul cannot heal in survival mode. And perhaps for the first time in a long time, you need to stop trying to appear strong before God. Because God never demanded perfection from you. He never asked you to hide your emotions. He never expected you to endure everything alone without breaking down at any point. God never asked you to be perfect, only honest. This changes everything. Because honesty heals places that appearances never manage to touch. And perhaps there's immense freedom in finally admitting, I am tired, not as someone defeated, but as someone human, as someone who needs to breathe again, as someone who is still trying to understand their own pain while continuing to walk. And even though it may seem hard to believe now, this pain will not be eternal. This emptiness will not forever define your story. One day you will look back and realize that God sustained you through moments that seemed impossible to survive. You will realize that there was purpose even in the darkest days of your journey. Because some of life's greatest transformations begin precisely during periods of silence, exhaustion, and emotional vulnerability. And perhaps it is precisely there that God begins to rebuild parts of your soul that the world has never been able to see. Comment below, this makes sense to me. And perhaps, after everything that has been said here today, you have finally understood that this weariness that exists within you is not something small. It's not drama. It's not weakness. It's your soul trying to survive in silence while carrying burdens that no one notices. But the good news is that God notices. He saw every moment you wanted to give up and kept going anyway. He saw the nights you stayed awake trying to control thoughts no one knew about. He saw the times you smiled on the outside, while inside you were slowly crumbling. And perhaps this message reached you at the exact moment when your soul most needed to breathe. So, if you've made it this far, leave a comment. I'm still here. Because this simple phrase can remind someone, including yourself, that despite the exhaustion, despite the silent battles, and despite the difficult days, you continue to persevere. And if this kind of message speaks to parts of your soul that almost no one else can reach, subscribe to the channel. Not just for one video, but to continue walking together through messages that bring reflection, rest, direction, and hope on days when your mind feels heavy and your heart is weary. And leave a like on this video as a silent way of saying, that message spoke to me. Because sometimes all a person needs is to realize that someone has finally put into words what they felt for a long time. And there's something interesting about all this. Many of life's most profound changes begin precisely when we stop running away from what we feel and start facing the truth within ourselves. There's a video over here that really complements this message. Click on it and continue reading. Maybe the next message you need to hear is waiting for you in that video too.